Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from the True Stories collection, as in it actually happened at an event I was actually judging. Amy plays a time warp while Nick controls a Shifting Woodland and has a Stranglehold in his graveyard. Can Nick deny Amy her extra turn by making Shifting Woodland into a copy of Stranglehold? Okay, so the first important fact that we'll need to know to answer this question is that Stranglehold, making you skip your extra turns, is a replacement effect, as is any effect that uses the word skip. We can see that the event Stranglehold wants to replace is an opponent beginning an extra turn. This is important because the replacement effect needs to be in place immediately before the event that it replaces would happen. Stranglehold doesn't care about creating extra turns, only taking them. So that means this isn't as easy for Nick as just responding to the time warp by making Shifting Woodland into a Stranglehold. It also means that if an opponent has a Stranglehold in play, you can still play a time warp and create that extra turn. As long as you remove the Stranglehold before you actually take that extra turn, you'll get to take it just fine. And that brings us to the second important fact we'll need. Shifting Woodland will retain all of Stranglehold's abilities until end of turn. And if you just went based off the normal English meaning of those words, it kind of sounds like Shifting Woodland will stay being a copy of Stranglehold all the way up until the very end of Amy's turn, which is indeed right before the event of Amy taking her extra turn would happen. Unfortunately for Nick, if we take a look in the CR, we can see exactly how this officially happens in the game, and it doesn't paint a really pretty picture for him. Amy's extra turn happens after the cleanup step of her current turn. In other words, after all of the actions of that step have been completed. And of course, the very last action that happens in the cleanup step is for this turn and until end of turn effects to wear off. So officially what will happen is the game will be in the cleanup step, and then it'll progress to the part where until end of turn effects wear off. And after that happens, the game will be ready to progress to Amy's extra turn. And at that time, there won't be any effect saying she can't take that turn, so that's exactly what happens. Now, some viewers with advanced rules knowledge might have realized that when I said the last thing that happens in the cleanup step is for until end of turn effects to wear off, that's only true for certain cleanup steps. If Nick can engineer a situation where a state-based action is performed or a triggered ability triggers during the cleanup step, there's actually a time after until end of turn effects wear off where players would get priority to cast spells and activate abilities, including the ability to change Shifting Woodland into a Stranglehold. Unfortunately, this isn't going to help Nick out, because if such a situation were to occur, then the game would generate an additional cleanup step after that cleanup step had ended, and we would be right back in the same situation that he was in previously. That's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling. Until then, I hope you have a great day.